The Social Security Administration has implemented changes that have millions of retirees carefully examining their bank statements. The reason for this scrutiny stems from a significant adjustment to payments, and it is crucial to separate the factual developments from the reckless misinformation circulating widely. When it comes to Social Security, the confusion and outright falsehoods being propagated online are causing genuine harm to individuals who have relied upon a lifetime of work to earn these benefits. So let us clarify the actual situation. There has indeed been a notable change to Social Security payments. And yes, certain recipients are finding approximately $200 more per month in their checks. However, this is not a universal payment issued to everyone, and understanding the distinction between who qualifies and who does not could determine whether someone can rightfully depend on this money or will be unexpectedly disappointed when it fails to appear. The cost of living adjustment for this year was set at 2.5%. This percentage translates into different dollar amounts depending entirely on an individual's existing benefit level. For the average retiree receiving around $1,927 each month, this adjustment means an increase of roughly $48. This is where the explanation becomes essential and where that figure of $200 actually finds its application. It is vital to approach this information with a foundation of straight facts rather than hopeful speculation. The goal is to provide the unambiguous truth about the current state of Social Security, to explain who is truly receiving these funds, and to outline what steps must be taken to ensure you are not overlooking benefits you have earned through decades of dedication. The core issue with much of the information found online regarding Social Security is that it is crafted to generate attention, not to offer genuine assistance. Headline figures are presented without necessary context, without a breakdown of eligibility, and without the acknowledgement that Social Security is not a uniform program. Your benefit could be vastly different from a neighbor's, not due to arbitrary favoritism, but because the calculations are based on your personal earnings history, the age at which you filed for benefits, your total work credits, and numerous other factors that often go unexamined. So let us discuss the origin of this $200 figure. The 2.5% cost of living increase is absolutely real and is currently being reflected in benefit checks. However, simple arithmetic on the average retirement benefit shows an increase closer to $48, not $200. This discrepancy naturally leads to a critical question, and asking it is the first step toward protecting your financial well-being. The individuals seeing increases in the range of $200 or more are typically those who were already receiving benefits significantly above the average before this adjustment was applied. If someone is receiving the maximum Social Security benefit, which last year was around $4,700 for a person retiring at full retirement age, then a 2.5% increase adds approximately $117 to their monthly amount. Furthermore, for those who delayed claiming benefits until age 70 and are receiving the maximum delayed retirement credit, which can exceed $5,800 monthly, the cost of living adjustment could indeed push them into that $200 range or even higher. The reality often left unspoken is that fewer than 6% of all Social Security recipients receive anything near the maximum benefit. The overwhelming majority of retirees are working with amounts near the average, which means their increase will be proportionally smaller. There is another group that may experience larger combined increases, and this is a critical point of policy. Individuals receiving both Social Security retirement benefits and supplemental security income could see a stacked effect from separate cost of living adjustments for each program. When combined, these increases can be substantial, potentially reaching or surpassing that $200 mark. It is imperative to understand this is not free money materializing without cause. These adjustments are intended to help a fixed income maintain its purchasing power against the rising costs of groceries, utilities, healthcare, and other essential expenses that consistently erode financial stability. Clarity on this next point is essential, as it is a common source of both confusion and frustration. Cost of living adjustments are not bonuses, rewards, or gestures of governmental generosity. They are functional mechanisms designed to maintain the purchasing power of Social Security benefits in an inflationary environment. Consider it this way. If prices at the grocery store rise by 2.5% over the previous year and your benefit remains static, you have effectively received a pay cut, able to purchase less with the same amount of money. The adjustment seeks to prevent that decline, to stop beneficiaries from falling behind as prices climb. However, a genuine frustration exists with how this system operates. The inflation metric used for Social Security calculations does not always align with the actual spending patterns of retirees. It is based on the consumption habits of urban wage earners and clerical workers, not on those of older adults. Seniors typically allocate a much larger portion of their income to healthcare and housing, costs which have historically risen faster than the general inflation rate. Therefore, even with a 2.5% increase, many retirees will discover their real-world expenses continue to outpace their benefit growth. This is not pessimism, but a collision of mathematical formulas and lived reality. Eligibility is another area where costly mistakes are frequently made. The cost of living adjustment is applied automatically for everyone receiving Social Security benefits. No application is required, no phone call to the administration is necessary, and no forms need to be filled out to prove need. Whether you receive retirement, disability, or survivor benefits, the increase is automatically added to your payment. It would have appeared in your late December or January payment, depending on your normal schedule. If an increase was not observed, that is the moment to contact the Social Security Administration, as an error may have occurred. This is where people often become tripped up, and it is vital to avoid this pitfall. While the cost of living adjustment is automatic, numerous other benefits and programs for which you may be eligible are decidedly not automatic. Millions of dollars in potential aid go unclaimed every single year because people are either unaware these programs exist or assume they do not qualify without ever verifying. We are discussing programs like Medicare savings programs that can help pay premiums, deductibles, and coinsurance. We are talking about the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which can provide crucial help with groceries for eligible seniors based on income and assets. There are also state-specific programs offering property tax relief, utility assistance, prescription drug coverage, and a host of other supports that, when combined, can total far more than $200 monthly. One reason these benefits remain unclaimed is pride. Many people who have worked their entire lives and contributed to the system feel that applying for assistance is shameful or constitutes taking a handout they did not earn. This thinking must be challenged, as it results in lost financial support and is rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding. If you paid taxes for 40 or 50 years, contributed to Social Security with every paycheck, and fulfilled your obligations, then accessing benefits for which you are legally eligible is not charity. It is collecting on a promise made in exchange for a lifetime of work and contribution. The other primary reason is sheer complexity. The system can feel confusing by design, encompassing federal, state, county, and nonprofit programs, each with distinct eligibility rules, application processes, and deadlines. It is overwhelming to navigate alone, which is precisely why this detailed explanation is important. You should not miss out on money that could materially improve your quality of life simply because the paperwork seems intimidating or the starting point is unclear. This issue demands a broader perspective, extending far beyond spreadsheets and budget lines. For most Americans, Social Security is not merely a supplement. It is the foundational source of retirement income. Approximately 90% of people aged 65 and older receive these benefits, underscoring the program's universality and essential nature. For about half of all elderly beneficiaries, Social Security supplies at least 50% of their total income, meaning their financial stability is inextricably linked to that monthly check. For roughly 1 in 4 seniors, Social Security constitutes virtually their only source of income. There is no backup pension, no substantial investment portfolio, waiting in reserve. These are not abstract statistics for policy debates. They are real people. Retired teachers, factory workers, caregivers, and veterans, striving to maintain basic dignity and independence in their later years. They live on fixed incomes that routinely fail to keep pace with escalating costs for housing, food, healthcare, and utilities. Inflation does not pause for retirement, and expenses often increase precisely when earning power vanishes. Therefore, when we discuss a $200 monthly increase, even for a subset of beneficiaries, we are not discussing luxury or mere comfort. We are discussing survival and fundamental quality of life. That sum can mean the difference between filling all prescribed medications or rationing them to last longer. It can mean keeping the heat on throughout winter or enduring a cold home while wearing extra layers. It can mean affording basic dental care, new eyeglasses, or a necessary doctor's visit instead of postponing treatment until a minor issue becomes a crisis. It can also mean the difference between connection and isolation. For many seniors, that extra money could cover fuel for a visit to grandchildren across the state, or a bus ticket to see family they have not embraced in months or years. Without it, they remain home not by choice but by financial necessity. These are the small human moments that make life meaningful, and they should not be placed out of reach for people simply because they have grown old. This is not theoretical economics. It is the daily reality for millions of Americans who worked for decades, paid into the system, raised families, built communities, and helped create the prosperity the nation enjoys today. To ask them to struggle in their later years, forced to choose between health, warmth, and human connection, is not merely a policy failure but a profound moral one. These individuals did not ask for special treatment. They earned security, and they deserve, at minimum, to age without fear, instability, or indignity. Some may be considering the long-term sustainability of Social Security, which is a valid concern. The trust funds are projected to face depletion within the next decade, and if Congress does not act, benefits could be reduced across the board by approximately 20% to match incoming revenue. This is a serious prospect requiring address. However, worrying about what may happen in 10 years does not alter the circumstances of today. Right now, you have benefits to which you are entitled, and you should be claiming every single dollar that is legally yours. The long-term solution will require political will and difficult choices regarding taxes, benefits, retirement ages, and eligibility thresholds. Those are national conversations involving inevitable trade-offs. But while those debates continue in Washington, your bills are due today, your medications need refilling this week, and your immediate financial security cannot wait for a political resolution. Therefore, take the following specific and direct actions. First, if you have not already done so, review your most recent Social Security statement and verify that the cost of living adjustment was correctly applied. Your payment should be 2.5% higher than it was in December of last year. If it is not, contact the Social Security Administration immediately. Second, use the benefits eligibility screening tool available on the official government website. Dedicate 20 minutes to answering questions about your income, assets, and personal circumstances. This tool will indicate which programs you might qualify for, and you may be surprised by the possibilities. Third, if you find you are eligible for any benefit you are not currently receiving, begin the application process. Do not dissuade yourself from acting. Do not convince yourself it is too much trouble. Begin the process and follow it through to completion, because that is the only way to transform potential eligibility into tangible support in your bank account. Your lifetime of work has earned you this right to security. Ensure you are receiving everything you are owed.